Hello everyone. In today's tutorial, we will answer 4 questions. What's the main role of medical science liaisons and field medical teams in medical affairs and in the pharmaceutical industry in general? 2. Once you are a medical science liaison, who are your customers, internally and externally? 3. What is the difference between medical science liaisons and other common roles in the pharmaceutical industry, like medical representatives, for example? What are the differences? And finally, what is meant when we say cross-functional strategy or cross-functional collaboration? What requires the medical science liaisons to do differently today compared to years ago? So let's get started. The main role of the medical science liaisons is the scientific exchange with the key opinion leaders, bridging the gap between clinical research and scientific evidence from one side and the clinical practice from the other side. This is important, very important role that requires a lot of skills and a lot of scientific acumen. In order to understand the role and its scope, we need to understand the main changes that happened in the pharmaceutical industry during the last decade. 5 major changes changed the entire strategy of the industry, and that's why there is more attention to the role of the medical science liaison and more focus on the deliverables as well as the expectations from this role in medical affairs. So let's understand first what are the major changes that happened in the industry. There was a major shift from disease treatment to improving overall patient quality of life. The shift towards the quality of life rather than just treating the disease was the introductory phase to reach the patient centrism, or putting patient first, or putting patient in the center of our attention as pharmaceutical industry. So it started by shifting from just treating the disease into quality of life, and then moved strategically into a bigger change, which is the patient centrism. But this was not the only change. Other changes, including adoption of technology, adoption of patient-centric approach, and also the cross-functional collaboration took a completely different dimension, reinforcing its importance and value. All this helped and led to more empowerment of medical affairs. Medical affairs has actually transformed into a strategic pillar in the industry. And the change was due to the complex therapeutic landscape and the demand for evidence-based decisions and the need for science-driven engagement with healthcare professionals. And here comes the pivotal role of MSLs, which actually serve as a bridge between the pharmaceutical companies and the medical community. They build the trust in the industry, provide strategic insights and innovation, and because of their background, they are in a very good position to navigate the regulatory environments and to be the champions for any patient-centric strategy. As mentioned before, medical science liaisons or field medical teams, they act as a bridge between clinical research and scientific evidence from one side and the clinical practice from the other side. In other words, they are the bridge between the pharmaceutical industry and the medical community. So let's go into the details of the roles and responsibilities of medical science liaisons. We mentioned the scientific expertise and the key opinion leader engagement, but what else? Let's see. 1. The field medical colleagues, or MSLs, they are subject matter experts in the therapeutic area they are responsible for. So if one MSL is responsible, for example, for inflammation, he or she should be a subject matter expert in this disease area or therapeutic area. They engage with key opinion leaders, and key opinion leader engagement is the main function and role of the MSLs or the field medical colleagues. They support evidence based data, whether from clinical trials or from real world evidence. They offer education and training to healthcare professionals and occasionally for internal stakeholders. They gather and disseminate insights. They analyze the insights and transform it into actionable insights that can be transferred later into strategy and implemented accordingly. They ensure compliance and ethical conduct of all the medical initiatives. They collaborate with cross functional teams effectively. They support medical communication internally and externally. They participate in scientific conference and get the conference insights, analyze it, and again transform it into medical strategies. So these are the main or the core responsibilities of field medical colleagues or MSLs. Once you are an MSL, the Medical Science Liaison, you need to be very clear on who are your customers, externally and internally. Externally, these are the healthcare providers and the key opinion leaders, and this is the easier part. But the most important part is the internal customers, because all your initiatives and all your strategies as medical science liaison will need to align 100% with the overall organizational strategies. And that's why your relations inside your organization is very important. And we will see this in more details when we discuss the cross-functional strategy or collaboration. Mapping the stakeholders for MSLs is a crucial step to ensure each MSL has clarity regarding who should be included in their internal and external communication circles. Let's talk about the internal stakeholders. The MSL or the field medical will communicate with the commercial teams, sales and marketing, will communicate with the regional and global teams, including medical affairs and marketing as well, will communicate with compliance and legal, will communicate with regulatory teams and research and development, health economic outcome research, access teams, and of course they can communicate with finance, digital teams. It may differ. However, what you see on the screen now are the core functions that are included in the communication circle of MSLs. Regarding the external communication, the first and most important customers for MSLs and field medical colleagues are the key opinion leaders, and key opinion leader engagement is the top priority for the customer facing medical in general and MSL specifically. Patient advocacy groups, academic entities, scientific committees and payers, regulatory authorities, and maybe other depending on the geographical scope and the rules and responsibilities defined by the medical strategy of the organization. Let's now compare the two roles, medical science liaisons to the sales representatives. Sometimes they are called medical representatives or medical sales representatives. What about these two roles? The core objectives of these roles. For MSLs, the core objective of this role is to foster scientific and educational relationships, provide unbiased evidence based information. While it is completely different when it comes to sales representatives, they promote and sell products to achieve sales targets. The nature of the interaction of the MSLs is non promotional, deep scientific discussions with the healthcare professionals. On the other hand, with the sales representatives, the type of interaction is completely different once again. Promotional, product focused discussions. For the educational background, MSLs or all customer facing medical colleagues, they have advanced scientific degrees, MD, PharmD, PhD. On the other hand, this is not a requirement if you are working as a sales representative. So, life sciences background, advanced degree, not always required. Regulatory boundaries. MSLs operate under non promotional guidelines and they avoid off label promotion. Usually, medical affairs colleagues in major pharmaceutical organizations they follow separate policy rather than the commercial colleagues. The commercial colleagues or sales representatives operate within promotional guidelines. This is a very, very important difference. So MSLs, they operate according to non-promotional guidelines in the organization, while in the same organization, sales representatives, they follow a different policy or a different guideline, which is promotional guidelines. Stakeholder engagement. MSLs they engage with the key opinion leaders, researchers, facilitate clinical trials with investigators, and so on. On the other hand, sales representatives they engage with prescribing physicians and pharmacists. Now we come to the last part of this tutorial, which is the cross-functional collaboration and strategy. Cross-functional collaboration between medical affairs and other functions is very important strategy, especially that this is one of the strategies that was significantly impacted by the change in the pharmaceutical industry. When we talk about strategies and cross-functional collaboration, some people may think that this is limited to the non-customer facing roles in medical affairs, which is completely wrong. In fact, strategic thinking in general and cross-functional collaboration are critical capabilities for the customer-facing colleagues, including medical science liaisons. Why cross-functional collaboration is important for medical science liaisons? The first point is that it gives them this holistic insight development approach. So the cross-functional collaboration will allow the MSLs or the medical science liaisons to integrate diverse perspectives from different colleagues and different departments, and this will definitely enhance the quality and relevance of the medical insights they generate. Also, the cross-functional collaboration will enhance the communication level at general. So imagine the medical science liaison communicating regularly with marketing, regulatory, clinical teams. This will definitely ensure that they effectively communicate scientific data, which is naturally complex, in a way that aligns with the overall business language and strategies. Also, developing a comprehensive strategy for the organization, which is dependent on the cross-functional collaboration, will ultimately improve patient outcome and definitely will enhance the contribution to the healthcare industry. Another important point to consider here is, as we mentioned, the strategic alignment. Collaboration ensures that the medical science liaison initiatives and activities are definitely aligned with the company's strategic goals. And finally, the innovation and adaptability. Innovation and adaptability are always fostered by cross-functional collaboration. And so, by combining different expertise and different opinions, the medical science liaisons will be able to adapt quickly to changing environments and to new challenges. And this will help them to navigate into this complex environment. So, cross functional collaboration today is very, very important in the pharmaceutical industry and, of course, in different fields, but it is particularly important for medical science liaisons in order to ensure the quality of their medical insights and the alignment with the overall strategic goals. Thank you very much for today and see you soon. Have a nice day.